Now, you're still live on The Pulse here on the JoyNews channel. Let's take another look at some critical numbers. Now, we just came from the Savannah region, capital of Damongo. There has been some controversy there, but interestingly, it doesn't seem to reflect in the number of challenges that have been issued in that part of the country. Let's go over to the screen here and take another look at these figures. Now, if you look here at what's going on, the Savannah region, which is green here, has only 371 challenges since the beginning of the process from day 1 to 16. It's no surprise the region that has the largest number of challenges, which is the Greater Accra region, of course, that has the largest population totally. It's 2,174, representing 18.4% of all the challenges that have been made since this process began. Notable among which also you have here the Volta region had 1,359. The Ashanti region had 1,465. The Ashanti region having 12.4% of all the numbers that have been challenged. The total number on the bottom right of the screen is in bright white with a red background there, 11,818. This, of course, is a huge number if you look at it on its own, but it represents a mere 0.2% of the number of people who have registered in total, which we heard from Dr. Bosman Asari today to be a total of 7,279,000 persons. Of course, I'm approximating there, so it's about 7.2 million in total. So these are the numbers as we have them. The number of challenges reflecting loosely the population share when it comes to the number of people who have registered in the country. But of course, it's interesting that you find some really large numbers from places like the Volta region with 1,359, not a very large part of the country, I must say. The northern region also has 1,044, not a very large region. You want to look out for the most populous places in the country, the Greater Accra region being number 1, the Ashanti region being number 2, and it's reflected in there. But it's followed closely by the Volta region, which is not the third largest region in the country. Really, you would expect regions like the Western region and the Western North together combining to give you a large figure. But here we have a total of about 932 from these two regions, which used to be one, of course. The Western region has 420. The Western North region has 512. The Western North region has only about 4.3% of all the persons who have been challenged in total. Look at this 9.6% representing the Central region, 1,135. Now, of course, the Central region now becomes a very populous region on its own, since it was not split in the creation of these 6 new regions that we have. So you'd expect that it will also feature highly. Of course, some analysts would also say that it represents the controversy and the contention, the keen competition that already exists in these parts of the country. The Central region already is known to vote in the president at any time that we are going to have a change in power. Voted heavily for the NPP in 2000, voted heavily for the NDC in 2008, went back to the NPP in 2016. Let's go on and look at some other analysis that we can do with these numbers. Now, we're going to look at the 2020 voter registration statistics. These are the numbers representing the number of people who have registered in total. Another very interesting reading here, 1.5 million coming from the Greater Accra region. No surprises there. This is the most populous region when it comes to numbers. I'm going to skip you to the Ashanti region, second largest region, 1.3 million people registering from the Ashanti region. You want to take a close look at these regions because in a way, they tell you the voter turnout that the strongholds of the parties would expect. Normally, you would expect the Ashanti region to vote massively for the NPP in the coming election, 1.3 million people. The NPP has been known to get north of 90% of total votes coming from this region. The Eastern region, 694,541, also an NPP stronghold. The Volta and Oti regions are known very well to be NDC strongholds. So are the 3 northern regions, which have now become more than 3, of course. I'm now counting about 5 regions in the enclave. You have the Upper East, Upper West, the Upper West and Upper East. You have the Savannah region, the Northeast region, and you have the Northern region traditionally. So you have 126,000 people coming from the northern region, 434,000 people coming from the Savannah region. And of course, you have it's 434,000 coming from the northern region, and the Savannah region having 126,000. You have the Ahafo region registering 144,961. You have also 261,503 coming in there right above in the Bono East region. And the Bono region itself has 293,284. These are very populous areas. Now, these three regions are also likely to select who would be the president in the coming election, where these three clusters vote together, where the central region votes, where these two regions would also vote. So you want to look closely at the numbers there. 440,858 coming in from the Western region. The Western region currently has almost nearly routed the NDC in terms of parliamentary seats. Traditional NDC seats from 2000 have been swept by the MPP in the last election. The MPP would look to repeat that performance in December. And if they are able to do that, they have close to 440,000 already registered there in just 16 days of this exercise. Remember, this exercise is running till the first week of August. So there's still a lot more time to go. This is how the chips are falling if you talk about the raw number of people who have registered in these parts of the country. Of course, you can trust your election headquarters to keep you updated on all issues that have to do with elections, all the analysis that we need. You're still live here on The Pulse.